Hey snackers, I'm Nat. Today we're diving into something truly mind-blowing. From ancient DNA strands to migration paths that crisscross the globe, we're uncovering the science that, spoiler alert, your family tree might just include Cleopatra or Genghis Khan. Intrigued? Let's unravel the surprising story of human ancestry.
Okay, so get this. What if I told you that everyone in Europe alive today, they actually share a common ancestor from just 1,000 years ago?
Really?
Yep, it's true. You, your neighbor, even like celebrities,
Huh?
we're practically all cousins.
Wow, that really changes how you think about history and family, doesn't it?
It's mind-boggling.
It's like all those sprawling family trees,
Yeah.
and then you realize they all converge into this massive network.
Exactly.
Yeah, and what's so fascinating is how technology has revolutionized the field.
Oh, totally.
With platforms like Genie, people are contributing to these mega family trees.
Right.
There's the World Family Tree, which has 75 million individuals in it.
Right.
It's like piecing together this giant puzzle of human history.
It really is. And, speaking of puzzles, one article we're looking at features A.J. Jacobs,
Yeah.
an author, and he kind of stumbled into this world when a 12th cousin contacted him.
What?
Yeah, just out of the blue.
No.
And this cousin placed him in a family tree with 80,000 people, including, like, Karl Marx.
No way.
Yeah.
That's wild. It really highlights, those unexpected connections that can just pop up.
It's true.
Like suddenly history isn't just names and dates in a textbook. It's
Uh-huh.
populated with real people, your relatives.
Yeah, exactly.
They lived and loved and left their mark on the world.
And sometimes those relatives turn out to be celebrities.
Oh, yeah.
Jacobs found out he's related to Gwyneth Paltrow,
Oh, wow.
Barack Obama, even Kevin Bacon.
Huh.
6 degrees of separation indeed.
It really underscores that idea that we're all connected, even to people we might consider distant or famous.
Yeah.
These mega trees are showing just how intertwined our lives are across generations and social strata.
That's so true. And it's not just about fun facts and celebrity connections, though.
No, of course not.
These megatrees are actually giving scientists tons of valuable data.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
There's actually a team at MIT that is studying the World Family Tree
Really?
for insights into human history, migration patterns and even disease inheritance.
Wow.
It's like this unprecedented resource for understanding our collective past and potentially shaping our future.
It's amazing. So on one hand, we have these personal stories of discovery and connection.
Yeah.
And on the other, we're uncovering insights that could impact, science and medicine globally.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And, it makes history come alive in such a personal way.
Oh, totally.
Jacobs, it really talks about using his connection to Albert Einstein to get his son more engaged. So suddenly Einstein wasn't this scientific icon. He was Uncle Albert.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah. And it made him more relatable and inspiring.
It's like it adds a human dimension to history.
Yeah.
It's not just about kings and queens, battles and inventions. It's about the individuals who lived through it all and contributed to the tapestry of life that led to us.
It really is.
All right.
It's about realizing that those seemingly distant historical figures, they're part of our story, part of our family.
Absolutely. And this idea of a shared family goes even deeper. Scientists talk about Y chromosomal Adam and mitochondrial Eve,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and while they weren't the first humans, they represent individuals from, thousands of years ago.
Right.
And we all inherited our Y chromosome or mitochondrial DNA from them.
So it's not just about sharing ancestors, like in the past 1,000 years.
No.
We're talking about a common heritage that goes back tens of thousands of years.
Exactly. It really highlights the interconnectedness of humanity. We all share common ancestors from this distant past, and it reinforces the idea that we're all part of one human family.
That's powerful, which brings us to another fascinating concept,
Oh.
the genetic isopoint. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, so it's basically the point in time where everyone alive today within a specific population shares a common set of ancestors.
Okay.
Yeah.
And get this, research shows that for Europeans, that point is just 1,000 years ago.
Wow.
crazy, right?
Yeah, the research is based on DNA sequences from over 2,000 individuals across Europe.
Wow.
And it shows we are far more interconnected than we could have imagined.
It's a lot.
It challenges like those traditional ideas about lineage and ancestry.
Yeah, it's like instead of family trees branching out, we're seeing them converge, like a weaving together of lineages over time.
Precisely.
So cool.
Yeah, it's really a fascinating shift in perspective. And this concept of a genetic isopoint isn't just limited to Europe.
So there's a global genetic isopoint too, like a common ancestor for everyone on Earth.
That's right. It takes us further back in time, but based on mathematical modeling, our most recent common ancestor likely lived between 1400 BC and 55 AD.
Really?
Potentially as recent as the time of Queen Nefertiti.
That's closer to our time than I would have guessed.
Right. And if we really delve deep, calculations suggest the global genetic isopoint likely occurred between 5300 and 2200 BC.
Wow.
So imagine everyone alive today descends from the same set of individuals who lived during that period.
It's mind-blowing to think about all those lives, all those stories that have intersected to bring us to this point.
It really makes you question those traditional ideas, right?
Totally.
About lineage purity and racial divisions.
It really does. So we've talked about Y chromosomal Adam and mitochondrial Eve, but it's important to remember they weren't the first humans.
Right. They were just individuals who happened to pass down their genetic material through an unbroken line.
Yeah. And while studying mitochondrial DNA and Y chromosomes has given us some valuable information, it's really just a glimpse into our complex history.
Absolutely. To truly grasp how interconnected human ancestry is, we need full genomic studies that examine the complete set of genes.
So it's like looking at a single thread in a huge tapestry.
Right.
We need to see the whole picture to truly understand the intricacies of human history.
Exactly.
But before we get into the details of those studies, let's take a minute to think about what this all means for us.
Yeah, good idea.
In the real world.
Yeah, it's a really important question. How can we apply this knowledge about our shared ancestry to our lives today, and what does it mean for the future?
It's a big question.
Yeah.
And one we'll definitely explore further.
For sure.
But I think it's safe to say that, the world of genealogy, it's revealing not just our family trees, but a profound connection to the entire human story.
It really is.
It is.
Yeah, it really is remarkable. When you think about how these genetic discoveries, they can reshape how we see ourselves and our place in the world.
Yeah.
It's like we've been handed this incredible tool, to unlock all these secrets from our past and use them to navigate the present and the future too.
Totally. It's about understanding the lives of our ancestors, the everyday stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The challenges, the choices they made, the triumphs, the tragedies that shaped their lives.
And all of that, it culminates in our existence, right?
It really does.
It's kind of a humbling thought.
It is. And it can even challenge our preconceived notions about race and ethnicity.
Oh yeah, especially with this whole concept of genetic isopoints.
Right.
Demonstrating how interconnected we all are.
Exactly. So it dismantles that whole idea of pure lineages, right? It's not like we have these separate family trees that have stayed isolated throughout history.
Right.
Okay.
It's we are all way more mixed than we might realize.
Yeah.
Our genetic heritage, it reflects centuries of migration, intermingling, shared experiences.
Like this massive interconnected web of humanity.
Yeah.
With threads weaving together from every corner of the world.
That's a great analogy. I like that. It really captures the essence of what we're discovering through all of this genealogy and genetics research.
Totally.
Yeah.
So with all of this new knowledge about our past, what about the future?
Yeah.
Where do we go from here with all this genealogical information?
Right. Well, that's a fascinating question.
It is.
And thankfully, it's one that a lot of people are exploring right now. As genetic technology and data analysis keeps advancing,
right,
our understanding of human history and ancestry is only going to get more refined.
So we're likely to discover even more connections, even more surprising connections.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And gain deeper insights into the past. Just the more we dig, the more layers of the story we uncover.
Absolutely, yeah. And you know, all of these advancements, they have huge potential for personalized medicine.
Oh, interesting.
As we learn more about our genetic heritage, it could revolutionize disease prevention, diagnosis, and treatment.
So instead of like a one-size-fits-all approach to healthcare,
Right.
we're moving toward a model that's tailored to each person's genetic makeup.
Exactly. Imagine being able to like identify genetic predispositions early on,
Right.
you know, take preventative measures or receive really targeted treatments, all based on your unique genetic profile.
So it's like having like a personalized roadmap
Yeah.
to our health.
It's incredible to think about.
It is.
And as more people do like DNA testing and contribute to those online family trees, the amount of data available for research is just going to keep growing.
Exponentially.
Exactly. And that will lead to even more groundbreaking discoveries.
It's amazing how something that started,
Yeah.
you know, as just a way to trace family history is now having such a huge impact on science and medicine.
It really is.
And even like how we understand what it means to be human.
It really highlights how interconnected these fields are, you know, and how much we can learn about ourselves by like looking to the past
Totally.
to inform our present and future.
Okay, before we wrap things up here,
Yeah.
what stands out to you the most from all of this? Like what really blew your mind?
You know, for me, it's the sheer scale and recentness of the genetic isopoints.
Okay.
It's remarkable to think that all Europeans alive today, they share common ancestors from just 1,000 years ago.
Right.
And that all humans, you know, everyone on Earth can trace their ancestry back to this relatively small group of individuals from like just a few thousand years ago. It really like changes how we think about time
It does.
and connectedness.
I know it puts things in perspective, doesn't
Yeah.
it? It makes you realize just how interconnected we all are, you know, across time and geography.
Absolutely. It's a really powerful reminder of our shared humanity
Right.
and the incredible journey that has led us to this point in time.
So what does all of this mean for us? You know, for how we see ourselves and how we interact with the world.
All right. Well, that's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's one that we all need to think about individually and together as a species. Like
Yeah.
if we really embrace the fact that we are all part of one interconnected human family, how does that change things? Like how we approach conflict,
Right.
social justice,
Yeah.
global cooperation.
It's like we need to like reevaluate our whole ethical framework,
yeah.
you know, and take into account our shared origins and the responsibilities that come with being part of this global family.
Exactly. It's about recognizing the value of diversity while also acknowledging our fundamental interconnectedness.
Yeah. And understanding that our individual actions, you know, even the small ones, can have these ripple effects throughout this vast web of human relationships.
Right. It's powerful and humbling when you think about it.
It really is. It's a lot to process,
Yeah.
but it's pretty amazing stuff.
It's really amazing.
That's some incredible food for thought.
Yeah.
I know I'll be thinking about these ideas for a long time to come.
Yeah, it's like we're moving away from, you know, those old views of ancestry
Right.
that are like so limited, you know.
Yeah. It's like we're expanding like our definition of family to include all of humanity.
That's a good way to put it.
And with that, you know, comes a sense of shared responsibility for each other and for the future of our species even.
And that's it, snackers. Maybe this episode will inspire you to embark on your personal treasure hunt through history. Imagine reaching out to a distant relative, uncovering forgotten stories, dive deeper into a new culture, or see the world with a little more empathy, a little more understanding. I want to leave you with one final question. If we are all so interconnected, what does that mean for how we treat each other? And the future of humanity? Leave your thoughts in the comments. Till next time, keep curious.